All right, what's up, family? This is Mike. Well, Mike knows we about to do a mock draft for the 2026 class. I want to give a shout out to S Pros for the video. Let's get started.
It's officially draft season in a way, so I love to do a post-trade deadline mock draft every single year, so let's do one today. So what's going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? I gave you guys my trade deadline grades on Thursday. Yesterday, I ranked every single team after the deadline, so today let's do that mock draft that you guys know that I love to do. We have an amazing college slate today. We get our first UNC Duke game of this season, so I'm actually going to run a lottery simulation here because I think the lottery has some interesting implications this year.
I
With
like,
Pacers
comment,
trading away
subscribe
their
for me,
first round
okay?
pick, top 4 protected, and then 10 to 30 protected in the Vita Zubac trade. We know that the Hawks could get a top pick in the draft either from Milwaukee or from New Orleans. Washington and Utah got to worry about their top 8 protections. The Clippers are probably giving the Thunder a lottery pick, and Atlanta could be giving San Antonio a lottery pick as well. All right, let's run this lottery simulation and see who's going to be picking here in the top 3, who's going to get a chance to get Darren Peterson or AJ DeBan.
I'm gonna start it off. I feel like AJ the Banza should go first. I feel like AJ the Banza is 6'9", 6'10", can play the guard, move the ball real good, IQ real good. I think he should be number one. I just want to start off with that. Let's get it.
And I like this one a lot. The Brooklyn Nets end up winning the 2026 lottery. And the reason why I wanted to do something like this today is because the Los Angeles Clippers have the 6th overall pick. This is in that window from the Ivica Zubac trade, which is a very big wrinkle from the trade deadline. The Hawks are picking at 2. Dallas moves up 4 spots to pick at 3. That's going to be fun. Utah 4. Poor Sacramento, they drop to 5. The Clippers do drop, but that's a good thing for them because the Pacers drop. Washington drops to 7. And then, yeah, Portland keeps their lottery protected pick. That would go to Chicago. Charlotte at 12. Hey, they could make the playoffs this year. Who knows? And then you have just 2 juggernauts in the West picking at the end of the lottery. So here with the number 1 overall pick, the Brooklyn Nets, man, this would be really interesting. A team that could still have cap space this summer at the trade deadline. They did what they normally would do here as a rebuilding team. They took on some just 1-year deals.
But Brooklyn Nets, you know what I'm saying? They always get a guy like that, and they just cut Cam. You know what I'm saying? So they already got him. He's injury prone to me as well. So I feel like the Browns should be number 1, Boozer 2, and then I would go Darren Peterson. But I could be, that's just my opinion because I feel like if we're going off what he got, I feel like uh, Brooklyn needs like a guy like DeBonza or a guy like Boozer. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel with the team that he got picked right here for this mock draft. So Darren Peterson, I couldn't see him going 1. I don't see him going 1. Nah, I don't see him going 1.
Like Hunter Tyson from the Nuggets, so the Nuggets conduct the luxury tax. They helped out the Toronto Raptors by taking on Ochai Agbaji. They helped out the Boston Celtics by taking on Josh Minot. They'll get some cash considerations or some second-round draft capital.
I still believe
so
this mock draft going to
have financial
going 1
this
AJ DeBonza because the Brooklyn need
Michael
him.
Porter Jr. Yegor Drummond looks like he should be in the 3-point contest. I know you just drafted Nolan Traore and Ben Saraf, but I don't think that should sway you from drafting, in my opinion, still the best player in this class who has, I think, a high ceiling and also a high floor in a way, Darren Peterson out of Kansas. I know he's been a polarizing player this year for a couple different reasons, mainly his availability because he has dealt with multiple lower body issues, soft tissue issues.
And in college like that, and there's way more games in the NBA, and he can't even get through a college season. But that'll be hard for me to invest my money in that. But hey, Brooklyn make those kind of mistakes sometimes. So I guess we'll see what he do.
And you don't want those to linger to the NBA level because the kid is still a teenager. So you hope that he's going to overcome those lingering injury issues. But man, the change of pace, the twitch, the bend, the fluid movement around the rim. This guy is going to be a special scorer at the NBA level. He's drawing a lot of comps to Dwayne Wade, Anthony Edwards, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan. The way he's able to score the basketball, even like a bigger Kyrie Irving when he was at Duke. And I do think he could be the 1, he could be the 2. His assist numbers are down in a way because when you're watching Cam Kansas, it's a lot of maybe isolation. It's a lot of shot creation for him. And also, he's not really running and initiating some of the offense at times. And it's also kind of been out of sorts because he's not been available late in games for times this year. But if you watched him against Texas Tech,
that's a problem. That's a problem.
Time shots late in that game. He obviously had that electric first half against BYU on Saturday a couple weeks ago against AJ Debance. And I do think right now he would be the #1 overall pick to any team. Doesn't matter if it's like the Indiana Pacers. Doesn't matter if you have your backcourt figured out. You still got to add somebody like Darren Peterson with the #1 overall pick, which now gives us the Atlanta Hawks at #2. Which is just fascinating for a bunch of different reasons because the Hawks just traded for Jonathan Kuminga, right? Another wing.
Yep.
Now, I don't think trading for Jonathan Kuminga would steer them away from going with AJ Debance out of BYU. But I think they would end up going Cameron Boozer here out of Duke. In my opinion, Cameron Boozer is the second best player in this class right now. I know he's...
I could see that. Because they got Kuminga at Atlanta now. I could see because they need a big man. I can see Boozer going #2. I can see that. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with him on this one. Because Boozer has been balling out this year. 23, 4, 9, shooting 58%. Wow. 6'9", 250. Yeah. He will help Atlanta out big time. Back to the video.
Not as flashy and maybe as athletic when you're watching BYU and Debance or Kansas and Darren Peterson, but Cameron Boozer is a pretty good athlete in his own right. He has just been a
very good athlete
player for one of the best teams in the country. He can really operate extremely well out of the post. He can set great screens. I think him and Jalen Johnson can have an extremely well-off two-man game because Boozer could be one of the best short-rolling big men right away. He has really good touch. Really good feel around the rim.
I agree with you on that. I agree.
I think that long-term rim protector, which I think they're still trying to find. It wasn't Kristaps Porzingis. I think they like a Okongwu, but maybe it's like that main rim protector. I don't know if he's going to suit that role. Obviously, Atlanta would be a great Darren Peterson team, given that they kind of need that lead ball handler in the backcourt. But trading for Jonathan Kuminga should not steer you away from drafting somebody like Cameron Boozer or even AJ Debance. You take who you like, and I think you can have like the Duke forwards going forward with Jalen Johnson at the 3 and Cameron Boozer at the 4. And hey, maybe you're just letting Jalen Johnson initiate the offense going forward. So yeah, we're going to have Cameron Boozer go #2 to the Atlanta Hawks. So at #3, Cooper Flagg and AJ Debance in Dallas. Yes, I would love to see Cooper Flagg be with Cameron Boozer, Cooper Flagg be with Darren Peterson, but hey, beggars can't be choosers here. If you're Dallas and you get slightly lucky here or really lucky in the lottery for the second straight season and you're picking #3, you have to be head over heels to get somebody like AJ Debance who could really be a dynamic.
Now, I see it coming this way. He really fit in. 23 and 9, 24 points, 3 and 6. You know what I'm saying? Shooting 53%. Yeah, I do see him fitting in with Cooper Flagg because both of them can handle the ball. They can play off each other. And Kyrie come in, yeah, that do look good. I do see how that could be a good. That's kind of dangerous. That's dangerous. I see how you can. That would be beautiful. I would love that. I'll watch them every night. Every time they play, I would want to see them play. So, yeah, that's a good pickup.
Score for Cooper Flagg. This would be the next generation of like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, but over here in Dallas. Cooper Flagg can initiate the offense. He can run the point, but both Cooper Flagg and AJ Debance are going to have one of the greatest point guards of this generation in Kyrie Irving running the show for them while they're on their rookie contracts going forward. So I would absolutely love this selection for them. Yes, you have a lot of wings as it is with like PJ Washington, Christie, Caleb Martin, Najee Marshall, Klay Thompson. None of those guys are long-term building blocks or would have more value long-term than somebody like AJ Debance. If anything,
I agree with you.
Great complementary wings to Debance and Flagg, and we're learning with the Mavericks and their injuries, you can never have enough wings or enough depth over there in Dallas. So that solidifies the top 3 here, in which Peterson goes 1, Boozer 2, Debance #3. 2 of them are going to the East. 1 of them is going to the West. So an interesting dilemma here at #4 with the Utah Jazz, in which they ended up trading for Jaren Jackson Jr. at the deadline, who's probably not going to play a ton for the Utah Jazz in the second half, given that their pick is top 8 protected. They want to keep that pick, right? They don't want to send that to OKC, and they've been playing some really bad basketball as of late. And when you're looking at the Jazz next year, we're assuming they're going to bring back Walker Kessler. You have Markkanen and Jaren Jackson Jr., very sizable forwards. Both those guys are almost 7 feet tall. You know you have your main guard in Keontae George. So are you going to go for like the fit in Keaton Wagler, who can kind of slide in right there as the 2 guard? I don't think so. I'm still more in the camp that you take the best player available, and I think that's
Yes.
still Caleb Wilson.
Yes.
High energy.
Right back up.
High energy, high motor. He's going to fly around defensively. Honestly,
Beautiful pickup. Beautiful pickup. Super athletic. I agree with you on this one. Caleb Wilson is one of my favorite players in the draft. I mean, in college this year. So I agree with that all day long. I do agree with you on that. Utah Jazz picking him up. Yes, him, Ace Bailey, Keontae George. Oh, that look good. That look real good. I like it.
so playing behind Jaren Jackson Jr. can do wonders for his development as well. I'm not sure if Kyle Filipowski is going to be here long term, and Wilson gives you a little bit more size and defensive upside than like a Cody Williams or an Ace Bailey at the moment as well. So yeah, I still think you go Caleb Wilson. Obviously, in a perfect world, they get Darren Peterson in that backcourt or AJ DeBanza as well. But right now, I'm going to have them go Caleb Wilson. So here at number 5, it comes down between 2 players, in my opinion, for the Sacramento Kings. They didn't trade away a Domantas Sabonis, a DeRozan, a Malik Monk, or anybody like that at the deadline. I'm hoping they kind of just release Russell Westbrook. I'd like to see him on more of a competitive team right now. This is ESPN's big board. I think it's a little bit outdated in a way. So there's 2 guards that I'm particularly looking at. One of them is going to be Kingston Flemings, definitely ranked a lot higher now, or Keaton Wagler from Illinois. I hope that he's even in this database right now. Yeah, like preseason, he was 113th or whatever this ranking came out. So it comes down between Wagler's size and scoring ability, or you can kind of get your franchise point guard potentially in Kingston Flemings. And that is a tough debate with the Sacramento Kings right now.
Like Mikael Brown. I think Mikael Brown will be a good pick in this situation. But and Boogie Flynn, I think they're the 2 I think. But let's get back to the video.
On my big board, I do have Flemings a little bit higher than Keaton Wagler. I do want to see a little bit more out of Wagler, and I think Flemings has a higher floor. Wagler has a higher ceiling. They have building blocks, maybe not the best building blocks in the world, like it's Keegan Murray, Maxime Reynaud, Dylan Cardwell, maybe Devin Carter if he has a strong second half. So I'm going to go Kingston Flemings here from Houston. I think you can make a perfect case for Keaton Wagler as well. Flemings gives you good defense at the point of attack. He's a really good ball handler. The guy can knock down extremely difficult shots, like that game against Texas Tech where he went for 40. I know they lost that game, but he was just hitting knockdown 3 after knockdown 3, pull-up jumper after pull-up jumper, getting to the rim, finishing at the rim, and him coming through Kelvin Sampson at Houston is, I think, going to do wonders for his mindset at the NBA level, and hopefully can just be somebody that's going to play hard, want to be in Sacramento, and is going to be the next Fox or Halliburton that came and went. So here at number 6, this is what's interesting here with the block. We have the Los Angeles Clippers, who fell in the lottery simulation, and I think this is still an easy one for me right here. I think they would end up going Keaton Wagler out of Illinois. They have Darius Garland as their point guard, at least right now. They still have Kawhi Leonard. They didn't trade away a Chris Dunn or a Derrick Jones Jr. or a John Collins, but Wagler has the size at 6'6". We'll see what he measures at the combine if he's actually 6'6" to be a good enough defender.
And again, I disagree because I like a mint at this. I like a mint at this spot right here because he is, yes, can handle the ball. You can run the offense through him. You got to put on some weight, but hey, he's 6'10". You can't lose with that, and his IQ is very high. So I'm with the mint on that. I disagree with that pick.
Next to Garland. For most of Garland's career, he's played with a smaller guard in the backcourt, either Colin Sexton when we had Sexland in Cleveland or Donovan Mitchell. And now he gets to play with somebody a little bit bigger in Keaton Wagler who can kind of help him out defensively and have a better defensive ecosystem around Darius Garland. Wagler can make phenomenal passes with both hands. He can operate off of ball screens extremely well. He also has a really good pull-up jumper to him at the moment and has been probably with Kingston Flemings the 2 biggest risers in this draft class. So at number 6, I'm going to have the Los Angeles Clippers go Keaton Wagler, and I actually love that fit for them right now. So here at number 7 with the Washington Wizards, they fall a little bit here in the lottery, right? They trade for Anthony Davis. Who saw that one coming? So Washington could go a couple different routes, right? You have Trae Young, who's maybe not the long-term answer at the 1, but right now he's going to be the guy. He's probably going to opt in to his $48 million player option. A part of me wants to go Mikael Brown just because he has not been as good as Darius Akuffer, LeBaron Philon. But when you're trying to look at a translatable NBA skill, Brown can be that guy. And I also think you can have Brown in the backcourt with Trae Young. I do think the three-point shot, although it's not been falling this year, will eventually develop for him. I think like Philon is a non-existent backcourt partner with Trae Young with their defensive ability. Same with Darius Akuffer with his size right now. So if you want to find somebody that can be in that backcourt, it's Mikael Brown Jr. Them trading for Anthony Davis, like you could still go with the high upside 4 and Nate Ament at 7. You can go with Chris Nack, who's been playing very well for Houston as of late. Kareem Lopez just had a monster game against Melbourne United last week. Braylon Mullins might be the best shooter in this range as well, if you wanted to go that route. It's tough. I don't really love Mikael Brown Jr.'s production, but if we're mocking what can happen this upcoming June, I think Brown makes a lot more sense than Philon or Cup. I think pre-Trae Young, I could see the vision for Darius Akuffer, LeBaron Philon here, but I think if Kingston Flemings is off the board, they trade for Anthony Davis, and this is a weaker big man draft. Now, you could go with Nate Ament, who's high upside. I could talk myself into Nate Ament. It's back and forth in my mind between Mikael Brown Jr. and Nate Ament. I don't hate the idea of Nate Ament. He's going to learn behind Anthony Davis. He can get
I'm with you on that.
From Trae Young. He could be in that front court with Alex Sarr. He's going to have Keyshawn George next to him on the perimeter. There is a foundation and an ecosystem for Nate Ament to succeed in what could hopefully be a developmental spot for him. There's just so many young mouths to feed. And now you're adding 2 higher usage guys in Trae Young and Anthony Davis. It's really hard for him to get his reps right away. But hey, if you're going with somebody a little bit on the more developmental side, that's not the worst thing in the world, especially if Trae Young and Anthony Davis aren't going to be here by year 3 of Ament's contract or year 4 of Nate Ament's contract. So
tax time terror? Wave keeps you ready year round.
Now let's get back to the video.
So I'm going to go Nate Ament here. They still have
There you
Bob
go.
Carrington.
That's-
They have Trey Johnson. They have
I like
Trey
that. I
Young
like
there.
that.
They fall to 7, which is unfortunate for them, but I'm going to have them go Nate Ament, who has been playing better as of late for Tennessee. So we're on the clock here at number 8 with the Memphis Grizzlies. I was going to have see, now it's like, okay, I love Cedric Howard as a backcourt partner for whatever point guard they end up drafting here. I like Philon a lot more than Mikael Brown Jr. right now. I know Philon's been struggling a little bit as of late. Darius Akuffer can make phenomenal reads right now at Arkansas. A little bit of a smaller guard as well, but really not that much different in size from Philon. I would say a decent size gap between him and Mikael Brown Jr. I think I'm going to go high upside for Memphis, and I agree. Philon and Darius Akuffer, it's interesting, they're all juniors as well, have been better than Mikael Brown Jr. this year. I'm not quitting on him just yet. I like Mikael Brown Jr. so much going into the year. I thought there was a really good chance he was the 4th best prospect at the end of it after the big 3. And just trying to think what Zach Kleiman would do at Memphis, it just feels like a Zach Kleiman pick in a way, and going Mikael Brown Jr. out of Louisville. Milwaukee here at number 9. This is a very good thing for Milwaukee, right? They don't trade away Kuzma. They don't trade away.
I would think they go big because they just got rid of their big. You know what I'm saying? I think they go big. So I would go Core Pete instead of Mikael Brown in that pick. But I'm gonna let him get back to what he's saying, because I like him. I like Core Pete. He plays hard. He's 6'8". You know what I'm saying? He got to work on that 3-point shot a little bit with his height. You know, but I see he's a hard worker. I see he can do it. So I would go with Core Pete in that spot.
Miles Turner or Bobby Portis, and they obviously don't trade away Giannis Antetokounmpo here at the deadline. So are they going to go for somebody in the front court like Koa Pete? Like, they can really add a good player to this roster. And I know they have Kevin Porter Jr. I know they have Ryan Rollins. Cole Anthony is gone off this team right now. I think they could definitely go with another point guard here. And I like Philon. I think they just need that jolt of offense. And I think Philon will be a better scorer than Darius Akuffer at the NBA level. I think if you have him in the backcourt with Ryan Rollins, Rollins can help him out enough defensively. And I think there could be a great 2-man game there. I could see the reasoning for going with like a Koa Pete. Maybe you like Hans Steinbeck or Jaden Quaidance, who's a big question mark. I think Philon, though, is a sure thing to at least succeed right away for the Milwaukee Bucks. And that's what they need. Because I'm going through this mock that they're either going to try to make Giannis happy or they're going to.
So if you're saying point guard, I would go Malik Thomas. If you go on point guard, because Malik Thomas, you know what I'm saying, he's a streaky shooter. He's instant offense, and he plays good defense. So I see Philon. I like Philon. I do like LeBaron Philon, but I like Malik's streakiness a little bit better.
Still try to be competitive in 2027, and I think Philon gives you a little bit more upside over Darius Akuffer in that realm. I would love to get Darius Cuff here to the Chicago Bulls at number 10. We do not need them to take another guard at the moment. They have way too many guards on this roster. We need forwards or bigs right now. And I think what could end up transpiring towards...
And the Bulls need to go with Chris Sinnett Jr. 6'10", can shoot the three. It's not looking too good right now in college, but we know he can shoot the three. So I'm going with that. Super athletic, plays defense, and playing under Coach Sampson right now, you know he's going to play hard. He's going to be in shape. So I'm going with Chris Sinnett to the Bulls in this one.
Draft night. Chris Sinak becoming a top 10 pick again. So I had this as like one of a draft takeaway a couple weeks ago that's on Enjoy's Instagram, that I said that it's a weak center draft and Patrick Gungba could end up being a top 10 pick. And I just really enjoyed watching Chris Sinak as of late against Cincinnati, against UCF. The three-point shot is really falling, and I could take Koa Pete here. Since you have Noah Essengate, that should not deter you from taking Koa Pete, but now we have Pete and Buzelis. Can the floor spacing be out there with Josh Giddey? I think Braylon Mullins could make a lot of sense as well. Going forward, like, look at all the guards this team has, right? Like, you have Simons, you have Sexton, you have Giddey. Some of these guys are free agents at the end of the year. I'm assuming, though, they're going to re-sign Jaden Ivey. You have Trey Jones. You have
they do got a lot of guards.
So many guards.
Wow.
And I don't mind going Braylon Mullins. If you go Mullins, that's fine with me. But I think because of what Sinak can provide you as a little bit more of a floor spacer, and I don't think the defense is that different from like Hans Steinbeck. Yes, there's a defensive gap between him and Jaden Quaidens 100%, and him and Patrick Gungba right now, in my opinion. But I think Sinak gives you a versatile offensive weapon, high upside, high length, or really good length, I should say.
We agree.
Field first center in a way. I think just having Josh Giddey initiate the offense for Chris Sinak would do really well also. So I'm going to have Chris Sinak go to the Bulls here at number 10. On the clock, 11 here with the Portland Trailblazers. Scoot recently.
All right, since Koa Pete is still on the board, I'm going with Koa Pete and this on with the Trailblazers. He's still on the board, so Koa Pete to the Trailblazers. I feel like his versatility. I feel like he'll have time to work on his shot, you know, and he plays hard. And I just feel like he's just one of the best athletes in this draft. 6'8". You know what I'm saying? He can't handle the ball a little bit, but he plays like a big man. But it's a lot of things, you know, when he get to the NBA, they're going to teach him. So I'm going with Koa Pete. Let's see that we agree.
They came back. They're getting Damian Lillard back next year as well. I think I'm going to go Braylon Mullins here at number 11.
We disagree.
Trailblazers. Braylon Mullins had a nice first half against St. John's on Friday night.
He looked good. He looked good against St. John's.
But he's definitely one of the best shooters in this class. Big time shot maker, I will say. And I think under bright lights, he will come through, catch and shoot. He's a good athlete. He can attack the rim. And I just think the Blazers need to add to this bench in some type of scoring fashion, because
his defense needs some help.
Ryan Repair, City Sissoko minutes this year, like Caleb Love, it's a fun story and all, but Braylon Mullins gives you so much better of an impact player off the bench, where I'm fine with that. I could also see the vision of Koa Pete, who I'm actually going to have go right here to the Charlotte Hornets. I could also see Jaden Quaidens go here if you want to take the swing on Quaidens. It's been a little weird as of late for him at Kentucky. He's only played 4 games this year. You're worried about the injuries. I don't think it's a sure thing that he enters the draft. Like I said, it's a weak center class, so we definitely could. But I think this is where Koa Pete can go. We know that Charlotte was open to trading away Miles Bridges at the deadline. They ultimately did not get an offer that they thought it was worth it, so they're keeping Miles Bridges. Obviously, the starting 5 with Bridges this year has been phenomenal with Bridges and Moose in that front court. I think Koa Pete, though, gives you another bruiser down low, somebody that could set good screens for LaMelo, Miller, and Concanipple. Unfortunately, though, he's not really a shooter, but he's got a really good mid-range jumper. He's going to crash the glass, and I think it's just a high-energy guy to bring to Charlotte right now. But who knows? Maybe Charlotte's picking at 30 because they're going to win it all. So 13, Oklahoma City is picking here from the Clippers. This pick could end up being higher as well. I know it's been a trend with them in a way, but I'm going to have them go Jaden Quaidens, and there's a chance Jaden Quaidens doesn't play a lot next year, and I know they're getting back Thomas Sorber, but it wouldn't totally shock me if they get priced out of Isaiah Hartenstein in the long term, given their second apron issues. They just traded for Jared McCain. They have him as a guard. You have Cason Wallace. You obviously have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Isaiah Joe. I just don't think they would take a guard here, given that they want to see what Nikola Topic can do. Hopefully next year. I'm not sure if we're going to see him this year at all. I think you could definitely take a wing. Maybe you like Axel Lindenberg, who's NBA ready. Maybe you like Adame Sarr, Tony Yesufu, somebody like that. Maybe Sarr a little bit less. So I would go Jaden Quaidens here. The defensive upside is just unmatched in a way.
I'm going
I think
Yesufu
as a
here.
rim protector. He's a really good athlete. He's got a really good feel for the game. It's just like what we saw at Arizona State last year. His first game this year against St. John's was so exciting. It's just like he struggled to stay on the floor. Kentucky's had their issues this year. They're coming back a little bit as of late. They had a nice win last week against Arkansas on the road. So we'll see what they end up doing. OKC in this spot as well. It's just this team is just playing with house money. It's so frustrating. So on the clock here at 14 with the San Antonio Spurs, there's two guys that I really like. Kareem Lopez out of New Zealand and Thomas Houck out of Florida. And I think just the connectiveness and somebody that can step in right away to maybe give you some of a replacement of Harrison Barnes next year. If he's not going to have as high of a role or if he signs elsewhere, they could go Thomas Houck. I just think Houck's a better shooter.
I like Exton
The
Lindenberg.
efficiency difference is not too drastic, but I just like the form.
I like Lindenberg to the Spurs.
Out of Thomas Houck in a way, somebody that knows where to.
I like
at all
Axel
times
Lindenberg
on
to the
floor,
Spurs.
Where Yaxel's kind of a guy that operates well with the
He
ball in
seems
his
like
hands.
he-
I think Houck could play very well in a system where he.
I like Lindenberg to the Spurs because it seems like he fits in. He's an older player. It seems like that's what they would need. Somebody like that could come in, play a role, and don't mind playing a role. His three is good, high energy player, crash the board, 6'9". Hey, what can you? He's an older guy, so I feel like he fits the Spurs system. So that's why I'm going with Axel Lindenberg for the Spurs in this pick. But I'm gonna let him continue.
Is not going to even be the fourth option. Like he might be the last offensive option on the floor when he's out there, but he's going to know where to be at all times. So that wraps out the lottery. A quick recap here where we had Peterson, Boozer, Banza, Wilson. I don't think any shocking stuff there. Maybe Nate Ament, I think, was like the big shocker at number 7 to the Wizards. Figuring out like Brown and Phylon was interesting as well. And I just think like Darius Akuf could slide a little bit in a way here, just because the Bulls don't need a guard. The Blazers, I don't think would draft a guard, but maybe they would. Charlotte, I mean, I'm assuming they're going to re-sign Kobe White at the end of the year.
All right, looking at this right now, I'm cool with Darren Peterson. I'm cool with Cam Boozer, AJ DeBonza. I like AJ1, but I could deal with that because it's a good fit. It's a good fit. It's a good fit. I like Caleb Wilson at this spot. I like hold on one second. I like Caleb Wilson at this spot. At that spot, Flemings he's gonna fit in anywhere he goes. I'm not I like Keaton Wiggler, but I love him at that spot. I would go with A-Cup right there where Michael Brown Jr. is at. And I could, but who would not be on my board would be Jaden. 6'10". He don't play much. He don't play enough. So and then at Arizona State, he didn't show me. That's super athletic. So to me, I would go with. Axel right there. But all in all, I do agree with what he's saying. But it's a few things I will move. But I could see what he sees too. So let's get back to the video.
Jaden Quaidens, I just don't think they're going to end up taking a guard in OKC, and San Antonio obviously has a plethora of guards right now. So this is where I'm going to have Darius Akuf go 15 to the Miami Heat. Rozier's money's off the books at the end of the year. Davion Mitchell's nice, and he's going to be here for another year.
I just don't see Darius Akuf slipping to 15. I can't see it. He's one of the best players in college right now. I cannot see him slipping to 15. I can't see it. In no world, I cannot see him slipping to 15. He's going to be in the top 10. Easy.
But if you're looking for somebody that can really initiate the offense, I think Akuf is a very similar prospect in a way of Yaku Chonis in terms of their court vision on the floor. I don't think You can maybe make an argument Yaku Chonis is a better passer, but I think Darius Akuf is going to be a lot better of a scorer at the NBA level, a lot better of a finisher at the rim than Yaku Chonis, which was an issue at Illinois last year.
I
think
agree with
Miami
that.
could definitely use another guard. So I think Akuf could have a reason for going higher. It's just kind of the way that this board, or excuse me, the draft order fell. He ends up going 15. So 16, we're on the board with the Memphis Grizzlies. I really like Hans Steinbeck here. A little bit more of like a traditional big in a way. Don't really know if he's going to be much of a shooter at the NBA level, but there's been plenty of injuries to Zach Edey this year. It's not a bad idea to get another big man. Obviously, Jock Wand.
I like that move. I like that move.
On this team, Aldama's hurt right now, but he's under contract next year. They have a lot of like stretch fours in a way, and like a Jalen Wells, a GG Jackson. So I think they could just add to that.
Ejiofor could go there because he could play like a 4. I see Ejiofor doing that.
Second first rounder. That's actually from Orlando, from the Desmond Bane trade, because Phoenix has a better record than Orlando, so they're getting Orlando's pick. Now we're on the clock with the Warriors here at number 17. I'm hoping that they would end up trading this pick as well. They trade for Kristaps Porzingis at the deadline. A little bit of a shocking move in a way that he was the guy coming back for Kuminga. I hope that he's healthy in the second half. I like the idea of them just adding Yaxel Lindenberg, who can help them immediately. You're not taking a project player whatsoever. Somebody that's going to crash the glass extremely well, plays super hard down low.
I can see that.
Gets to learn from Draymond Green. And hey, if Draymond Green misses some time, you at least have somebody that's 22, 23 years old that has a great feel for the game already and can step in right away. But I'm going to assume that Golden State ends up trading this pick. We'll have to wait and see. 18, the richest get richer here with the Oklahoma City Thunder. They could also go with another project player, or they can go with somebody that can help them right now. I like the idea of Kareem Lopez still in this range. A really good athlete. He's got...
Hold on. Before you pay for yet another app to manage your team, let me introduce you to Connect Team, the one platform that replaces...
I think still a long ways to go. In a way, I'd like to see him be a little bit better of a three-point shooter, but his, I think, aggressiveness has really shined as of late for the Breakers over in the NBL. He just, like I said before, had a monster game against Melbourne United. I recommend everybody watching that game. It was exciting, and it really gets you excited about what Kareem Lopez can be.
I don't know much about him.
It's like we have,
like, he's a pro, so
Jang, let's bring in a next project for in Kareem Lopez, who I think's more NBA ready than what Ousmane Dieng was. 19 here, the Toronto Raptors. They've been kind of picking in this range. Well, Jacoby Walter was in this range a couple drafts ago, and this team obviously needs a big man, right? I think Patrick Gungba makes perfect sense for them at 19. They trade a second rounder for Trey Jackson Davis. I mean, Jakob Poeltl's back has been an absolute mess this year. They could get priced out of Mamu in free agency. I have no idea how that's going to look when we get to July. But Patrick Gungba, I think, has a reason to go maybe where I had Chris Anako at number 10. It's just Gungba, probably not going to be much of a three-point shooter at the NBA level, but he's at least taken some threes this year. So maybe you get him with the right developmental staff. You can make it work. Hey, Colin Murray-Boyles has been knocking down his threes this year. I know I'm smaller.
JT Toppin should be going 20.
The vision of him being somewhat of a small floor spacing 5 in a way, and Toronto desperately needs a big man. So here at 20 with the Charlotte Hornets, I think I just want like another athletic wing. They have a lot of good shooters on this team. I'm a big fan of Tony Yesufu.
I like Yesufu. Okay, I can agree with Yesufu there.
Very up and down.
I can agree with Yesufu
kind of forced at times, and even some of the makes, it's like bouncing up, bouncing off the rim, and then going down. It doesn't look clean whatsoever, but this is one of the best athletes in this class.
Yeah,
he's extremely
I
fast. He likes
can
to
agree
play
with that.
with a high pace. And if Charlotte's walking away with Koa Pete and Yesufu, two great athletes, two physical players, I love this for the bench unit going forward. The fact that the Charlotte Hornets are going to have 2 first-round picks this year to add to this young core, oh
Definitely
man,
agree.
like sign me up for the Charlotte Hornets.
I can
next
agree
year.
with that.
I think they could have been a Patrick Gungba fit, but he was off the board. 21 with the Atlanta Hawks, who already landed Cameron Boozer at number 2. This is a swap with the Cleveland Cavaliers. They trade away Luke Kennard. CJ McCollum might not be on the team next year in a way. Braden Burries can make an argument for the best Arizona Wildcat this year, for the best team in the country. Braden Burries has been really shining as of late. He's kind of in that tweener position that we all try to figure out throughout the draft process. Like, he's too small to maybe be a high-level wing, or he's too big and not as good of a passer and a floor general to be kind of like a pure point guard in this league, but he's a really good scorer. This man plays with pace. I think he would play very well with Jalen Johnson in transition in Atlanta. And they went Cameron Boozer at 2, and you get Braden Burries there. 2 of some of the best freshmen in the country. I'm a big fan of that for Ansi Salah. So the Pistons are on the clock here at 22, who do a swap with the Minnesota Timberwolves from that Mike Conley salary dump. That's not nothing for Detroit right now. I would like for them to kind of go a little bit more offensive minded. I don't know if they would take more of a swing or more of just like an NBA.
I'm going Malik
guy,
Thomas right
like
here.
Alex
I'm going
Karaman,
Malik Thomas right
three-point
here.
shooter. But I think I'm going to have them go with one of my favorite prospects in this draft. I'm actually not sure where he's going to be ranked. There he is. Joshua Jefferson. Kind of like a jack of all trades, master of none, but just like I compared him to Tristan Da Silva. He might be like Kyle Anderson at the NBA level, but he could shoot the three ball. I think he could definitely space the floor. Tobias Harris is getting up there in age. I think you're looking for more of a sure thing than looking at a Sar Thompson and a Ron Holland as a shooter in a way. And Jefferson has phenomenal court vision for somebody at 6'9". I actually love this fit. I know he's not like an insane athletic defender, but he's a very smart.
All right, thank you. I'm gonna stop this video right here. Go through the I went through the top 20, 22 picks. You know what I'm saying? I want to give another shout out to S Pros for this video. But I would like for you to like, comment, subscribe. Mike Knows to help me out. You know what I'm saying? So thank you, and we out.